It's that time of the week again when we impart our words of wisdom on some of the more sensitive subjects that people are posing in this week's agony advice columns. So get your thinking caps on, girls, as we delve into another person's mailbag in If I Were You. So, first up, writing to Tracey Cox in the News of the World, one man has been complaining about his blabbermouth wife. Now, he's upset that she tells all her friends about what they get up to in bed. He writes, "She is a gossip, and I've told her I'm upset, but she just laughed at me and told me all women do that." And that's from Tim Healy in Newcastle.
No, if I talked about our sex life, we wouldn't say a bloomin' word, bless
him. Is it good? What should he say? I mean, he doesn't like it.
So he's saying he doesn't like her talking about his sex life?
He said, "I don't like you discussing our sex life with your girlfriends. Please stop." And she laughed in his face, Denise.
OK, Lisa, what do you think?
Why you pass this on to me? Because I have to think about it. She doesn't. She doesn't want to give anything away.
No, I have to work out what I have to think. What day of the week is it, and where will Tim be before I say anything to you?
Well, it's quite a serious problem. If he said to her stop and she's ignoring him, I think that's a little bit harsh. But I do have to agree that women do talk about it with other women, and I think it's a positive thing. I think he should be grateful.
Do you? Or grateful he's getting any in the first place?
Well, yeah. And grateful that she's talking about him and not someone else. Yeah. No, seriously though, I do think we women do talk about stuff like that, and I think, you know, I think how you find out you've got a healthy life in that respect is by talking to your friends. You know, you
judging it on a scale of 1 to 10.
Just comparing notes. But I do think it can be quite useful. Sometimes people suffer in silence about stuff like that, and I think it's great to have mates to share that stuff with.
Yes, but these sound like they're good friends that he obviously knows, and he's very upset. I think she's been quite disrespectful that he's asked her. He's found out, or she's told him, and he said, "Do you know what? I really don't like that. Yeah. Could you please stop?"
I think that is harsh,
he should.
I think he should stop talking. And I must say, I wouldn't want Paul talking about what goes on between us with anyone else.
Well, do you know what I do? I would just stop having sex with her. Then she's got nothing to talk about, has she?
But she'd be having sex with someone else and talking about that, wouldn't she?
No, it's if you were him, yeah.
If I was him, I'd put a sex ban on her and say, if you're going to talk about it, then you've got nothing to talk about if they're not doing it.
I know of very few guys who marry women and expect them not to talk about jiggy jigs, because I just think that all women do. I mean, I maybe talk about it a little bit more than other people. I mean, Tim does call me Gob of the Tyne, he calls me. But he does. But the one thing he says to me, because obviously not just to friends, but to the nation, I share quite a lot as well. But he says he does get a little bit peed off sometimes, and I do get told off with some things that I say. But he always says when he's talking about me to other people, he says, "But the time I should worry is when she's not talking about me." I think that he should be quite happy that you know, that hopefully he's still getting quite a good press. That's what I think.
Carol, what do you think he should do?
I'm with you, actually. I think, you know, I do talk about Mark's and my sex life quite a lot.
So does everyone. We all talk about yours.
Everybody wants to know everything.
Spoke about it.
He does.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. I know he does.
What, in detail?
They come here with stills on their camera to send to us all.
I don't. No, I know he does. I know for a fact that he does talk. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me in the slightest, and it doesn't bother him. But if it did, I would stop doing it. I would, if he said to me, "Look, I don't really like you talking about sex life," I would stop. Absolutely, I would stop.
Yeah, I think the fact he's asked her to stop and she's just said no.
It's a bit disrespectful.
I think she would have stopped of her own accord if she'd have said something. All her friends went, "Oh no, we don't do that."
What's he got?
I think it would have ended naturally.
Maybe he should up his game a bit then. That's all I'm saying.
And on that note, we'll move on to our next dilemma. Now, Dr. Miriam Stoppob's column in the Daily Mirror features a letter from a 20-year-old woman who thinks that her dad might be cheating on her mum. She's noticed he now has a second mobile phone, and she found a rather suspicious text on it from someone who said they couldn't wait to see him again. There were lots of kisses on there. So she wants to know if she should ask her dad what's going on. Is he maybe having an affair? Very difficult one, this. So what would you do?
That must be like your whole foundation's kind of rocky. I think if I were this girl, I would not be able to just I couldn't ignore it because I don't think it would go away. I think she should confront him not in a confrontational kind of way, but just maybe say, you know, I've found these texts and it's really worrying me, and I'm not going to say anything to Mum, but, you know, you need to know that this is really upsetting me. It might make a difference. And maybe if she wanted to pretend that it was happening to a friend of hers, maybe it was her friend's dad, and then relay how she felt and hope that that might, you know, trigger something in him.
She'd have to be very careful that she was able to deal with the consequences of that knowledge as well, though, because I think it's something that that you may think you want to know for your mother's sake, but actually to live with the fact that it's true is another ththing. I remember years ago a friend of mine was in a really similar situation at about the same age, and she was in a dilemma because she had, I can't remember how that she'd discovered it, but she was pretty convinced that her dad was having to do with someone. But at the same time, this friend's mum, and I can remember this really vividly, this friend's mum had quite openly admitted that she had sort of closed down that department of their lives. So she was in a kind of dilemma at thinking, you know, one part of me doesn't want my parents to be going through this, and I feel that Mum has a duty to know. But at the other side, she thought, you know, her dad was still quite a young man, and so that was a little bit of a dilemma. I mean, I think if it was me, I think I would have to say that I had seen something on the... I think I would just impart the information that I was aware that there was a message on the phone that may or not mean something. So, Dad, I'm giving you this information. Deal with it how you will. I just want you to know that I know.
Carol's pondering. Look, she's still pondering.
Well, I think, you know, she was wrong to go snooping in the first place.
She may not have snooped, though.
Well, you know, she's seen the messages. I don't know. I just think it's up to the parents to sort it out. I don't... As a child, I would never have interfered in any of my mum's relationships, ever. Whatever I knew, you know, I probably did know some things that I shouldn't have known, but, you know, I just would never have said anything.
I can understand how you'd see it like that and feel like that, but I just don't think I could do it. I don't think I could have that information and not do something with it, because I think I would be quite protective of my mum if that was happening. The thing is, what I would do is I would have to confront him, but I think you've got to be very careful of making an accusation, because as we know, when people snoop with mobile phones, sometimes you get the wrong end of the stick, it might be wrong. So I would have to confront him and just say, I really need to talk to you about a problem. I'm very upset about it, and I've got to tell you that I've seen these things. It might be nothing. I just want you to know that that's what I've seen. And I wouldn't accuse him, and then I would wait to see if he had an explanation for it.
Can be a massive influence. There can sometimes be the glue that keep people together and make them think. So it might be worth a shot.
So you might
confronting him.
Yeah. So you'd confront. So three of us would confront him in some way, but you would leave be.
In some way, but it's also I would be, you know, because as I say, I have different views to some people about that anyway. You know, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be that I was condemning that person. I would just have to let them know that I was aware of something, I suppose.
There you are, 20-year-old lady. I hope that's helped a little bit from some more mature ladies who've been through some of these things. OK, well, we've got...